was kind of prepared for that, so it's not necessary.
Ready? Welcome back to Do You Even Binge? Bro? No, bro, but Do You Even Binge? This is the podcast that we started with Lisa Esparza, Daniel, and I, and myself, about binging and television shows and clothing from the television shows. But we haven't got to that yet, but we will.
I didn't even know about
details. There's so much stuff to cover that you don't have enough time in 30 minutes, but
so much.
we're going to cover as long as I can. So yeah, man, this is welcome back. We're here in our comfy couch, like in our old show I used to watch, The Big Comfy Couch.
Big comfy couch. Is that the name? No, is that the song?
Yeah.
Get ready to clown around with Luna and Molly, a clown and her dolly on the big comfy couch.
The Big Comfy Couch.
You just like the lady on there.
No, she was an ugly lady.
She was a clown, but I think you liked her for some reason. Didn't you?
I don't know.
This is Philip's generation, your son's generation.
Yeah, my
wasn't
son's
it?
generation.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
But I used to watch it all the time. I don't know why I watched it, but it was a weird show. I think she had funny. I did like the show. I like her too. I think that lady was a goat is in this show at the end, isn't it?
A lady who's a goat?
The lady that speaks with a goat or lamb chops.
Oh, Sherry Lewis was on this show?
Does Sherry Lewis have her own show called Lamb Chops?
She had her own show.
Okay,
It's
then
like Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop, and
then
then she was on Ed Sullivan and stuff like that.
Then I'm wrong. I'm not saying
Mike
that
Douglas.
I'm not saying she was on this show, but
Oh.
I thought she was part of the show. I guess,
Might be, I don't know.
no, maybe she came on right after this show, so I was wrong. Anyway, this got nothing to do with what we're talking about, so let's start.
Okay. We'll start. Okay, so I want to give you today's history. On this day in television and movie history, Leonard Maltin, his first appearance on Entertainment Tonight was today. And that's when he was young.
I always thought this guy was boring, man. I don't know, believe nothing he says.
I don't like any movie critic, but this guy was really way off of what my choice is. It's funny because I read his choice of bombs, and his bombs, I swear, like half the movies that he considered bombs, I love.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like, if you didn't like
them.
Rambo, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but he likes some stupid stuff.
But one thing about him was that before social media and anything, there was a book of movies in the list, and he would come up with it, and they were always fun to read.
Yeah, he had his bomb classics, American Gigolo, which I think is a great movie, by the way. It was kind of a B movie feel, but
That's the one with Ruben Blades and Richard Gere.
Richard Gere for sure. I guess Ruben Blades is in that. Yeah,
He's a police
you're
officer
right. Yeah,
investigating him.
yeah.
He kind of plays a little. He gets a little bit on the Columbo style of
Yeah.
investigating, because he always comes back before he leaves. One more thing, it is so strange how you always at the murder scene, isn't it? And he always says.
Did he have an accent, a thick accent in that movie?
Yeah, because I guess it's Los Angeles, so it's like a Colombian cop. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think it's Hector Elizondo, isn't it? It's not Ruben Blades, is it? I don't know for sure. Hang on.
I think it is.
Hold on.
Ruben Blades. Hector Elizondo is some other movie.
I'm gonna look up. But American Gigolo.
Only because you don't really throw Ruben Blades out in any movie unless you're for sure he's in it.
No, it's Hector Elizondo. Lauren Hutton, Richard Gere, Hector, him? Unless Ruben Blades was... No, it was Hector. Yeah, so this wasn't about a murder, but this is he's a gigolo. Yeah. But anyway, that was one of the things he considered We should have talked about that with the prostitute movies. I forgot about that.
What else happened in
Because that's kind of like
others?
Shampoo, too. That movie Shampoo with Warren Beatty back in the 80s. He was trying to compete with Richard Gere. So he considered so many other things. Freddie Got Fingered. He considered a bomb. Gummo, a bomb. Popeye, which you like. I don't like Popeye. Popeye was a bomb to me. The old Popeye movie, Robert Altman.
You could go to that place in Italy where they built the whole Popeye set, and it's still there.
Oh, yeah?
Somewhere in Italy.
Did you see somebody gives tours of that, too?
Yeah, the whole town was built just for the movie, and it's still there.
Oh, crazy.
So what else happened on this day on Earth?
Anyway. Well, no, that's it. But
there's
I
one.
just wanted to talk about... no, there were other things. They were just boring. I didn't choose it. But this is the least boring, if you can believe that. But Leonard Maltin, I wanted to talk about his movie review books.
I ain't gonna lie. I always thought Leonard, when they would say his name, Leonard Maltin, I thought they were talking about Mr. Spock. So if you're listening right now, man, we're not talking about Leonard Nimoy.
You ran into, I have to find this picture for post-production, but you ran into Leonard Maltin and the Malibu, the Ralph's, remember when we were going to the beach? Our spot,
man, he's
and
old,
he was
man.
There, he was old, and you ran
He's
into
old.
produce.
He looks like...
and you couldn't remember his name, but you were like, hey, man, I watch you all the time. Not Leonard Nimoy, but Leonard Maltin.
He was old. I forgot. I forgot I met him. Man. He was old. Man.
He had a headband on, I think, or something like that. He was like ready. He was just grocery shopping after a walk.
He looked like pale, like he was a sock. like that commercial from the socks. The one that goes. There was a commercial with a sock, and then that guy.
He's working off his
I don't know what
rents.
his name, but he would just go on a carpet, go, and then tap that guy.
I don't remember that. It was a sock commercial?
Yeah,
Static. Maybe it was a Static Clean commercial. Maybe it was like a laundry detergent or dryer sheet.
The name of the sock, the guy in the sock had a name too. But he was just a regular tube sock. Yeah, his name was Tube Sock. His name is Tube Sock.
Tube Sock, a character?
Yeah, cool as a commercial. And he would just stand there and
wait, there it is. The top first on the left.
Yeah,
there
that's
it is.
Tube Sock, man.
A giant tube sock. Oh my God.
That's why I thought Leonard Maltin looked like Tube Sock.
Tube Sock.
Because Tube Sock has a headband too. So the commercial will be that Tube Sock will be like, hey, Tube Sock! And he'll come out of nowhere like the gimp and then start dancing and he'll put his hand on the coffee and warm it up.
With his Static Clean.
Yeah.
His, static, what do you call that?
Yeah. So I'm going to dress up like
Static
that
charge.
at a Fool's Gone Wild party and win every sock check.
That would be funny. I think that Fools Gone Wild parties need a sock check station. They don't have that. Anyway, so Leonard Maltin.
They need original comedy.
Okay, so before he was a movie critic, he was a high school kid, and he had a teacher. He had a like a zine or a blog, but this was 1968. So it wasn't called a zine or a blog. It was just he published like a newsletter or something for his high school called what was it called here? Film Fan Monthly. And he was 17 years old. He published that. And then one of his teachers introduced him to an editor at Signet Books who was looking for a film book to compete with another publisher's film book. So he wanted something special. So Leonard Maltin had all these ideas. That guy hired the 17-year-old Leonard Maltin on the spot to write these books, like a compilation of every film ever made, a little description, maybe a slight review, and it's like a catalog, like a dictionary or a glossary or encyclopedia of films. And he kept publishing every 6 months. He didn't even tell, that publisher, by the way, didn't tell his bosses that he had hired a 17-year-old.
It's mine here.
Anyway, after it started, that book started getting a lot of traction. This is before he's on Entertainment Tonight, right?
Dude, for him in the 50s or 60s?
1960. This is 68, right? 69, the first book of his came out. And he updated it every 6 months until 1986, and then started updating it annually. And I have to swear, I bought that book, every edition of that book, from like probably 1990 to 2000. And then, of course, IMDb came out, and you don't need it anymore. But here's the thing. I needed a reference to be like, what was that one movie with so-and-so, and she played a prostitute or whatever, a professor or whatever you want to say. It was cross-referenced by actor, movie name. You could find like the director, and you could search it. It was a really well-made book, and I relied on this thing to win arguments mostly, but I relied on this book a lot.
Man, the internet killed this guy's career, huh?
It did. So 2014, I think, was the last one published.
It's a fad.
By the end, I swear, the last one I had was probably this thick. It was like a giant sandwich. It was so fat every time you tried to turn the pages, it almost broke because you had to kind of get it to split open and see all the details inside. But he gave short reviews of each movie. He had a star rating system and all that stuff, which we don't have here at this Do You Even Binge podcast, but we're thinking about a rating system. Just haven't decided yet. Anyway, so that book, it died with the age of the internet and the ability to just at your fingertips look at IMDb. Now they have an app, but I don't know. I go to IMDb probably 20 times a week. It's probably one of my most used apps.
I used to go to the newspaper to look for movies. So I would just go show up randomly like my dad and, okay, we're gonna see this movie because it's gonna be on right now.
I have never in my life gone to the movie theater without a plan to see a movie.
Well,
but I see people do that.
You never had a dad that would rush everybody out of there.
But I would.
We're gonna see this movie because it starts in 15 minutes. So you're gonna go to the restroom. You better go right now.
I would see people do that though.
That's my family.
I would go buy tickets for the movie.
We're going to the movie.
I'm behind people who go, I don't know. What do you want to see? Well, this starts in 5 minutes.
It might be a LA thing because everybody in LA says we're gonna go to the movies, and nobody ever mentioned what movie we're gonna see.
I can't go to the movies without a plan. I'm not going to see a random movie. Who does? You have to be a psychopath to do that.
That's my whole family, probably everybody in my neighborhood.
I can't.
I didn't look for movies in newspapers or the calendar section till my late 20s.
But I called Movie Phone. You had Movie Phone out here too, right? You don't know?
Let me tell you, man.
In the 90s?
I will call the movie theater directly.
Hello, and welcome to Movie Phone. If you know the name of the movie you'd like to see, press 1.
Come on.
Using your touch-tone keypad, please enter the first 3 letters of the movie title now. You've selected Agent Zero. If that's correct, press 1.
What?
You've selected Brown-Eyed Girl. If this is correct, press 1. Why don't you just tell me the name of the movie you selected?
Because that's what we did it over here.
Sir, please stop bothering us.
You will call the movie theater directly, and they will tell you that here at the Commerce Theater, we have one screen.
Blood in, blood out. Once again.
And it'll tell you if it had 2 screens. It'll tell you at 7:45, we'll be showing Blood in, Blood Out with subtitles. And then at 8 o'clock, we're going to be showing whatever movie it was without the subtitles. And at 3 o'clock, they'll tell you we're going to be showing the movie entirely in Spanish.
This is like the listings for Mass outside the church,
Commerce,
isn't it?
Yeah, Commerce
Filipino Mass.
Commerce
at this time.
The Commerce movie theater, man, was in Spanish, dubbed in Spanish, or English. And usually the ones that were in Spanish, that's when you saw the kids.
Wait, so you saw a lot of dubbed movies in the theater when you were a kid? Oh, wow.
Because of my parents, and I also saw them with the subtitles.
Interesting.
I walked. I'm gonna tell you, I used to watch.
But they're American films that they're watching.
I used to walk into the American films and watch a movie like White Man Can't Jump, and in the subtitle on the bottom, I'm watching it like this. Cause I don't want to watch the fucking subtitles because they don't match what they're saying.
Because they're not right.
Man.
Yeah.
The N words never match in Spanish. Because he will say, like, get the fuck out of here, you know, that N-word sure could shoot. And in Spanish, el loco, sí tira bien.
Yeah,
They would
bien.
just skip it.
Yeah, that.
Oh, by the way, man, White Man Can't Jump, man.
I love that movie.
It's funny, Commerce
You know
Casino is the only movie theater where I saw. Commerce Casino, Commerce
Yeah, where is
Theater.
that theater? Is it at the casino?
No, I have it all wrong. It's
by the
Commerce
outlets?
Movie Theater, but I call it Commerce
Oh.
Casino for some reason.
But was it near the outlets in the casino?
Nowhere
Oh,
near
not
there,
even
man. It's on
here.
Atlantic Square, Atlantic and Washington. I don't know where it is.
That's kind of
next to
obvious.
the best way to describe it if you're from Los Angeles and you're listening, or you move from Los Angeles, or you're from Boyle Heights. It's right next to
Or you have Google Maps.
right next to that strip bar by Kmart. Because there's a Target, a Kmart, Nicolas. Nicolas owns a building, so they never move. They just build around it, man. They'll build a Target and a Kmart around it. And right there was the movie theater.
Did we ever go to Commerce Cinemas as an adult? Like, when we were together?
I don't know, man.
I don't think I've ever been over there to see a movie.
But I've seen a lot of people rip their chanclas there, man, and just leave it, just throw their chanclas with their popcorn away.
White Man Can't Jump. I remember watching that, and I remember feeling so self-confident after I saw that movie because Rosie Perez wore shorts in that movie, and her thighs are chubby like my thighs, and I felt like a kinship. I felt like, representation on screen.
I thought you said because you could jump.
I can't jump though. No. No, but she wore shorts a lot, and like she had not those shorts, her Hulk shorts, but she had other I don't know, maybe she's in her underwear or something when she and Woody Harrelson are kissing or whatever.
Yeah, she had big thighs.
She had big thighs, but
Like Mary Lou had Redden.
why you gotta bring your girlfriend?
Well, she
into
does have
this
big thighs too, right?
Every time, Mary Lou Retton,
She does have big thighs,
who was
right?
just arrested for DUI last week, by the way. I don't know if you paid attention, but your girlfriend has fallen on bad times.
So look, when you walked through a straight line, she made a backflip. Want to see me stretch?
Anyway, Rosie Perez. Rosie Perez in that movie. This is not what the topic is today, but Rosie loves Jeopardy in this movie. White Man Can't Jump. She wants to be a contestant on Jeopardy. It is her goal to be on Jeopardy, and there she is on the upper right panel. There, she said she's on Jeopardy there. But that I love Jeopardy, and I still to this day. Well, maybe not to this day because Alex gone. But I wanted to be on Jeopardy so badly, and she was like studying the encyclopedia in that movie. But anyway, I felt really
factual books.
I felt repped in that movie because I felt like, I could be proud of my thighs. I can go out and wear shorts.
I could be on Jeopardy.
But you don't. Maybe I could be on Jeopardy one day. But you don't see women like that, represented on screen. Well, these days now you get a lot of variety on screen. But anyway, so that's basically Leonard Maltin. That was today in history. I don't want
Also, man, shout out to Wesley Snipes, man. People don't know it, but his job besides playing basketball and gambling was he was a unlicensed contractor.
Right.
Who was because in the beginning of the movie he showed this white guy to pick out tiles for his house, and he had a bunch of day labor on the side, tapping him. Today, hold on, Jose. They're tapping him like they want to work from him.
I didn't know that. I don't remember that scene. You remember all the day labor scenes?
I remember. No, I just remember.
I remember that.
I don't remember all day laborer scenes.
Just playing.
But I remember that. I remember details in the movie, like
you do.
How he makes money and this and that.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't remember that. I just remember them fucking. But I thought they were both losers who just played in Venice Beach all the time, right? Most of the time. No.
No, he just played. Yeah, but he gambles. No,
yeah,
they
they
don't
gamble.
play just in Venice Beach, though.
That's what I'm saying.
They
They're
play all over Los
hustlers.
Angeles.
Yeah, I thought they were just hustlers. I didn't know they had jobs. I never paid attention to their side jobs.
Woody Harrelson is a degenerate gambler. That's why he moved to LA.
Yes, that's right. He is a degenerate. And he doesn't have a job, right? I think because she's frustrated with him because she's like moving beyond him in their relationship and trying to really think like on to the next. Like she's elevating herself. Or she thinks she is. And then I'll never watch that remake with that Jack Harlow and whoever that other guy is. I'll never watch that one. That movie did not need to be remade. That was stupid.
So what else?
That's it. And then I'm just moving on to what we're currently binging. But we didn't binge anything separately, or at least I didn't, because we went to my niece's wedding last week. Did you binge anything that I didn't know
No, I just saw a movie.
Did you watch something on the plane?
Yeah.
What'd you watch?
More Than Fry Bread.
Oh, the fry bread documentary. Well, not documentary, the
mockumentary.
Yeah. You know
And
what?
you're right. That movie was shot exactly like Christopher Guest movie we talked last week.
Yeah. And I think, you know what? Let's save the fry bread discussion for the future when we talk about native projects, because I want to highlight that one, because I want to watch it too, because it looked good. And you showed me some funny scenes here and there on the plane. And I fucking love fry bread, first of all. I grew up...
I like popovers.
What's the other name? Bannock?
Oh, no, it's Kenny Banya.
Who's he?
Oh, he's this awful comedian.
Bannock.
In Canada, it's
Bangkok.
called Bannock. No, Bangkok. But it's... fry bread is so good if you've never had it, but it is like a staple in Native communities. And... I grew up in Section 8 housing next to a Sioux family. And that woman, man, she got down. She made fry bread. And I had nothing. We had no food in our house. We were the no food family. Zero food, like starving for weeks. But I ate all that fry bread. And it's like
got those thighs eating Miracle Whip out of the jar.
I would seriously, you don't know. You know how you joke about Joey Medina eating cold spaghetti, like not cold spaghetti, raw spaghetti, like hard spaghetti.
He would eat a hot water and then chew on cold spaghetti.
I didn't even do hot water. I burned it on the fire. We were left alone a lot as kids, but I burned some spaghetti on the fire and just crunched on it. And you talked about Joey. I can't even describe the taste. Just tastes like burned. It was so sad. It's so sad to even talk about. But looking at that, you know, that fry bread looks exactly like doubles. It is like doubles. It's a doubles, but they put it in a big cast iron skillet. Usually they'll make it like that. So although they showed a lot of deep frying of it.
They're all deep fried in it.
Yeah, well, at home it's made in a cast iron skillet. And it is fried, but it's in a cast iron skillet. But it looked a lot like doubles right there. Yum, that looks so good. And that casino, I think it was Saboba that you performed at.
Oh, yeah?
They would make tacos out of it, and they'd make like elephant ears, you know, like waffle. What do you call that?
Butterflies.
Elephant ears, right? What's the other name for it?
Butterflies.
No, not
Okay.
butterflies. Never heard of butterflies. That's what it's called over here?
I don't know. Let's move on.
Okay, move on. He doesn't like this discussion, so
we're getting to a sidetrack tomorrow.
Anyway, not really, but we can go to the what we're binging folder, because this is my niece's wedding, so we can show some pictures from that.
It was a good wedding, by the way.
Yeah, it was a perfect wedding. This is us in our non-black clothes, because I missed the part of the invitation that said wear black.
We look like idiots.
So we looked like idiots in our brightly colored clothes. And then a woman came up to me and said, you know what? We're bold. Because she also had a brightly colored shirt or a dress.
Well, her lit up, so she was even worse.
Hers was very bright. It was like orange. Anyway, that's us getting ready for them to walk down the aisle. There's Felipe and Isaac, my son, his stepson, dressed as a cop, I guess. And what is that?
That's me getting arrested for selling illegal Cuban cigars at the wedding.
And that's my brother, Johnny. And that's me and my 3 nieces. The one in the middle got married. That's Madison. And then Bella on the right and Kayla on the left. And then there's me and Felipe and Isaac. I look fat in that. Anyway, here's Maddie and Zach. after they got married. And they're going to do a little kiss. Which seems a little rehearsed, but okay.
Everything was rehearsed.
I know, I'm just playing. Anyway, and then this is Bella wanted... They played the wrong song on this one, but it didn't matter. Because Bella slayed. She's in the middle. That's our niece. She's 6'2", by the way.
That's why she's wearing socks.
And she had socks on.
She was
for
striking
this,
oil
this.
with those heels.
Yeah,
earlier.
she's crip walking right there down the... She is a bridesmaid right there. Anyway, they did a good job.
Not to take attention from my niece's wedding, but shout out to the DJ, man. He did a good job because him and his wife are getting a divorce and they had to work together at that wedding.
His wife was the wedding planner. He was the DJ. And they just got divorced, I think, a couple months before the end of the planning, before the wedding actually happened.
I heard when people tell me that the person lost a lot of weight because of Ozempic or
she got surgery, weight reduction surgery, yeah.
But
bariatric.
Then you see like, oh, okay, I guess there wasn't enough money for those back arms.
Oh, you noticed some extra.
I just noticed on people. Like, you got Ozempic, yeah, but there's still a lot of fat in that back arm, man.
All I notice about Ozempic is the ones who really go hardcore and lose a lot of weight is their face and head. Their head is still giant, and their face looks weird, like Skeletor.
I would do it, but I don't want to look like Baby Tom Cruise and Family Guy.
That's true. Baby Tom
Cruise. I already
Cruise.
have a big-ass torso and little-ass and skinny-man legs, so I don't want to look weird. There it is right there, man.
The loose skin. Yeah, you can't get rid of that. Even with Ozempic, you gotta have a plan for that.
I just could get into a quick little fight with a Jedi, just slice it off real fast, and then heal it.
Show the other videos from that phone. Oh yeah, here's the last one.
Oh, that was cool, man.
The dry ice torch sort of thing. That was funny. You were kind of the star of the show on the dance floor there.
Because my beige, my light
Your
blue.
light blue. Yeah, we stuck out like sore thumbs. I felt bad that
Blues Clues.
I felt bad we didn't participate in the black, but whatever.
We didn't know.
We didn't know. I just, you know what? I
folded chairs too.
I looked at the invitation again when we were on the plane, and it said, "At the bride requests that everybody wears black." And I was like, "Oh shit! Everything is packed, and it's already none of it's black."
I don't read a lot of stuff, like instructions, but I would have never missed that. I would have never missed that right there. That
yes, you would have, because it was way on the bottom of the
never
invitation.
missed that. If I noticed those they labor in that movie, I would have noticed that detail on that card.
Well, I should have sent it to you, and you would have let us know. That other woman missed it too. I wasn't the only one.
Black. He knew.
He didn't know. He just chose a black suit. Isaac just wanted black. Anyway, that brings us to our topic
Those
this
people
week.
there that were just wearing
happy married couples.
But it doesn't even matter, because I'd rather be wearing that suit than some of those people were just a tank top that was black.
I saw some.
There was an old man there who looked like a fucking umpire. He was wearing an umpire.
Umpire, like a Foot Locker outfit? He came from Foot Locker, his job.
Yeah, man, that guy was old, man. I
really
thought he was going to be the preacher of
the cheetah leopard print guy, or the Foot Locker.
Well, that's Uncle Bob. I'm talking about the guy with the black hat, umpire. His wife had like stockings, man. They look like they came up.
I didn't see them at all.
They were walking right in front of him. We were walking into the theater. He was wearing a black hat, and his wife was wearing like nylons. They were thick, man. Were
they older?
Older. Her nylons were like the same color of her skin to match, but they were like. But then he took his hat off, and he had like a big scar in his head. Okay, put that fucking hat back on. Like if his wife hit him with a vase.
All right. Anyway, our topic this week is wedding movies.
Wedding movies. How many wedding movies can you think of?
Father the Bride.
Me, first of all, I gotta think about the first wedding movie that was ever made. Was in 1935. The wedding movie was James Cagney and somebody else.
Oh, somebody did research. What?
Yeah, look it up, man. First wedding movie, 1935. I'll look it up right now.
James Cagney, what, 1935? Is it a gangster movie, too? He did gangster movies around that time.
Wedding movie, James
Wedding
Cagney, 1935.
Wedding Night, right here. That's it?
Yeah. He plays a guy named Puck, a mischievous sprite who is not involved in any wedding scenes. The movie is an adaptation of Shakespeare play.
No, that's... So Wedding Night is an adaptation of Midsummer Night's Dream?
Yeah.
Really? He plays Puck?
Yeah.
That's Gary Cooper. This is a whole different movie.
No, talking about the James Cagney movie.
It's called Wedding...
James Cagney, Wedding Night, 1935.
No, it's A Midsummer Night's Dream. It's Shakespeare.
Okay, there it is. Yeah.
But it's The Bride Came? 1941.
Yeah.
Some research.
Yep. So it's that one, and then there's Father of the Bride, of course.
Yes.
That movie was so
I never
popular. They made 3 of them.
I never saw any of them.
I only
Not
saw
a
one.
second.
And Martin Short was a wedding planner. He was like, he made it.
Was he flamboyant?
Okay, the stereotypical flamboyant wedding planner comes from that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there was nothing.
So he like started that whole idea.
He started the whole thing, man. Like where you think about a flamboyant wedding planner, where it can't be a regular man.
Did he play like a little gay? A flamboyant gay? Yeah, okay.
He was falling on him. Like, oh, you're going to pick that color?
Martin Short has played effeminate over the years, but...
he played, that's it.
But I never saw any... Okay, so was that the beginning of the Martin Short-Steve Martin relationship? The Martin-Martin relationship?
Probably, unless Martin Short plays banjo somewhere with him.
Wow, is that him in Father of the Bride?
Yeah.
Hilarious. I've never seen it. Nobody knows who the bride is, right? That's the thing with a lot of these wedding movies. Nobody knows who the bride was or the groom. Wedding Night, 1935, Gary Cooper. Well, yeah, but that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about James Cagney.
I was talking about that one.
Oh, that one. Okay. Wedding Night, Gary Cooper. Okay. So that was the first one. So Martin Short and Steve Martin, that was probably their first foray.
Yeah, because he didn't want his daughter to marry that guy, and
right.
blah 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 blah.
Nobody's good enough for his little
girl.
And
I saw Bridesmaids, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Bridesmaids, of course. There's a Wedding Planner. I think of Jumping the Broom. I have my list too, but
all of J-Lo movies. I don't think there's a movie without J-Lo not getting married or being part of a wedding
or being abused in her marriage.
Yeah,
right. That was enough, right? 9 movies, by the way. 9 J-Lo wedding movies.
Hey, there's action stars and there's wedding stars,
including one where she's a wedding planner, but she becomes the bride eventually.
Can you believe?
Because he falls in love with the wedding planner. What an asshole.
Documentary when she was trying to make the last wedding movie.
Okay, she had 2 weddings.
She's on the phone, right?
In the documentary?
In a documentary, because she's trying to film her last wedding movie.
This is like the This Is Me Now thing?
Whatever wedding movie that just came out with the last one.
Yes.
She was trying to get somebody to be in a movie, right?
Oh,
and
that's...
They showed her assistant calling the person. He goes, is there any way that he could star in my wedding movie?
Yeah, that's Shotgun Wedding.
And then
that was with Josh Duhamel.
Then she goes, he's at a wedding that day. Is there any way you could leave it? No, he's getting married.
J-Lo wanted this guy to drop his... Who was it that she wanted? I can't remember, but she wanted this guy to drop his wedding to go be in her movie about a wedding.
Yeah.
I want you to call Derek. And we need him for like 1 or 2 days.
It's a wedding, babe. He's in a wedding. It's a wedding. He's not going to give up his wedding. I mean,
Whose wedding?
Betty, it's a wedding he's in.
I want you to call him.
Okay.
First of all, that phone call
Yes.
was iconic.
I love she didn't just call you herself. She had her people call you. She made you switch around your own wedding plans. Please tell me she gave you an amazing wedding gift.
She loves getting married, though. I think she's romanticized the idea of getting married so much that it's a movie scene in her head that she can't. Once it's over, she can't deal with like regular life, you know, like sitting watching TV in your sweat socks with the dog.
So she's in my best friend's wedding, right?
No, that's Julia Roberts.
Okay, she's in the wedding planner, and that movie with Shirley MacLaine, or
she's in Monster-in-Law with Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda's her mother-in-law. Marry Me, Shotgun Wedding, which we just showed, The Backup Plan, a Wedding Planner, Shall We Dance? There's a couple more, but those are the only ones with active movie scenes.
The Wedding Planner
scenes.
Is with Owen Wilson?
Yeah.
Or Matthew McConaughey?
Sorry, Matthew McConaughey is in that one. Owen Wilson's in the other one, which is, I think...
All right, I'll tap that ass.
Backup Plan, I think, or... No, Monster-in-Law, I think, is Matthew McConaughey. I mean, it's Owen Wilson. I can't remember who her son is.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. I can't watch. It's very Hallmarkish, like Hallmark movie-ish, Lifetime movie-ish. I'm not into those kind of wedding movies. I like everything else that's like everything goes wrong, of course, but like there is no happy ending. And that's hard to find, where there's no happy ending, where it like turns out to be frustrating. But I have my list. We'll go through later of like the top movies. But you want to talk about what we did binge?
Yeah.
Did you see My Big Fat Greek Wedding? Because I never saw that after all the hype. I haven't seen a second
Muriel's
of that
wedding,
movie.
but not
I saw Muriel's wedding.
Not My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
I saw Muriel's wedding.
You know what? Is that the one where the dad is spraying Windex on everything? Very stereotypical Greek guy.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I did see it.
Yeah, okay, I didn't see that.
It's very stereotypical, man. A lot of unibrows in that movie, man. like unnecessary unibrows.
Unnecessary.
And like it's like that was my big fat Mexican wedding. It'll be a guy with a tapatio sauce or holding a bottle of what's the other hot sauce, the cheaper one? Valentina. Oh, you gotta put it in everything. Yeah, man.
You know what? I'm gonna say this right now. I prefer Valentina. I think on my ceviche.
A lot of people do.
I think I prefer it to Tapatio.
And it's tastier.
It's more tangy. It's like not Tabasco, but it's not Tapatio. It's right in between.
Yeah, but I prefer the Tapatio bottle because if I break it, there's so little glass to pick up. That one is like a fucking oxygen tank.
And this is something you need to plan on. Yeah.
You
break a
Valentina comes in like a big old oxygen tank.
Yeah,
shit.
It is giant.
You gotta open it like this and go. Psst.
Valentina is giant. It looks like kind of a sriracha bottle. The smallest bottle looks like a sriracha bottle, and the others are just giant jugs of it. You know, we still have a Tapatio refill. We bought a jug during COVID of Tapatio to refill our smaller bottles, but that jug is at the back of our cabinet right now, and it's like half full. We still have some. But yeah, look at that jug.
How about movies where there was an unnecessary wedding in it, where the wedding took over most of the movie, but the wedding had nothing to do with the movie? Godfather.
There was a huge wedding scene in Godfather, but it's not about... That's the thing. It was hard to find a lot of wedding movies because they chose things with just weddings in them.
Yeah, like
but they're
Godfather
not considered a wedding movie.
Huge...
It's a beautiful wedding.
And it makes you want to invite... Like, you're invited to that wedding when you watch it.
Yeah, you feel like you're Italian, like Olive Garden right there. Yeah, I forgot. Deer Hunter, my son just piped in there. Deer Hunter is a wedding. There's a wedding before they go off to war.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, because remember, it's a Polish wedding, and they're getting married. They're steel workers in Pittsburgh.
Hurts themselves.
See, they're getting married, and what's his face? John Voight is getting married that day, right? Or is Christopher Walken getting married?
So is Diner then.
Diner is a wedding movie, but no wedding ever happens.
No, what happens if all the friends get together for the wedding?
Yes, for the wedding, and then he
I love
has
that
like,
movie, man.
He has a quiz.
Favorite part of that movie is the favorite part of
Popcorn.
Diner is when what is that guy from that movie Wings?
Tim Daly.
Tim Daly. He walks up to a random guy after the movie and punches the shit out of him, and then he goes, I got 3 more to go. Because, like, I guess 5 of the varsity team jumped him when he was in high school.
Yeah.
And then he's on his way to fucking punch the shit
Fucking
out
Paul
of him.
Reiser. I always forget Paul Reiser
He had
is
hair?
in this
What?
movie. No, but he's in this movie.
Yeah,
I
he's
forget. How can he be in that group of guys? He's not that group of guys.
He did this movie, right, when he was doing Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, yeah, he was in Beverly Hills Cop. But go back to Mickey Rourke right there. Because Mickey Rourke, this is the top of his game right here. This like the beginning of him
Hairspray.
Taken off as a heartthrob, and he had a small role in this, and he dates Ellen Barkin, and there's a famous movie theater scene in this movie.
Which is your favorite movie theme?
Well, no, it's in the movie theater, and he makes her grab popcorn, right? So I'm not going to go into what happens.
I should do it at a movie.
It's a gross dude move.
I had to do it with Pop
Not
Rocks.
cool. Pop Rocks. There's a scene in there, but anyway, Mickey Rourke. It's the thing is they're
Ellen
too
Barkin's
old.
in it too.
They're too old to be playing like this. These guys look like they're approaching 40.
They're
Come
supposed
on,
to be like a 2 years out of high school, right?
yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be like end of college. I think they're supposed to be 20 something, 22. Mickey Rourke looks like he's 38 at best here. Daniel Stern is in this. Paul Reiser, he's got to be 36 here. Look at that. That's a 36-year-old. That is not a 22-year-old.
But there's a wedding never takes place, but there's supposed to be a wedding.
They're there for the wedding of the other guy.
Yeah.
Steve Guttenberg. Is he the one? No. He's the one getting married, right? Steve Guttenberg?
No, Daniel.
Daniel Stern's getting married?
Yeah, because he's asking his wife over and over about stats.
So she has a quiz that she has to take to determine whether she's right for him to get married to. Like, what? You're Daniel Stern. But it's like a quiz for football stats and all this stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
you were going to have a conversation with your wife about that.
And even if you are, like I said, you're Daniel Stern. You're going to take anybody who says yes. Come on now. Anyway, Kevin Bacon's in this, small role. But yeah, Deer Hunter, it starts with a wedding, Polish wedding, and then they all go off to war, to the Vietnam War after that. Forgot. I didn't think about those. Let's see, wedding plan. Oh, we talked about that. My best friend's wedding, Runaway Bride, right? Julia Roberts used to be the queen of
Also,
the
American Me,
movies.
man. Edward James Olmos, he gets sent back to prison at the wedding.
Oh, yeah. Who's getting married in that one?
Little puppet. He takes out his coat and lays it gently on the bus stop, and then the fucking Huda shows up.
The Huda.
And then he goes, "Hey, guys." Then the cops grab the wrong coat, and it's full of heroin. And they send him back to the big house.
Damn. American Me?
Yeah, orale.
The other half of Blood In, Blood Out, which we're going to do a separate episode in the future on all that stuff. But we did, though, this weekend, we binged a couple of wedding movies to prepare for this. But because it's also AAPI Month, which is Asian American Pacific Islander Month, right? We were served a couple trailers of Asian movies.
You're
so cool, I'm gonna call you Culo.
That's American Me?
Yes,
That's
the
little
scene
puppet
right there.
right there on the left, right?
Yeah, and that guy right there, he's the one that gives him the heroin, puts it in his pocket.
Oh, man.
At the wedding, You come all, you arrested me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Anyway, so what was I saying? We're binging those two movies. So,
No, you were talking about how it's whatever month, and then we're gonna watch those two.
And I
Asian
said
movies.
those two movies. We had never heard of them before. We watched their trailers. Okay, so there's the Wedding Banquet.
The Wedding Banquet.
That was the first one we watched. The
That
one we
one-
watched was new. This is 2025, and it had Bowen Yang and some other people I don't remember.
This is the Wedding Banquet.
Not this. That's Jumping the Broom. But the Wedding Banquet is what I'm talking about now. Wedding Banquet was the one with the gay couple, right?
Oh, okay. They're trying to
So,
make a baby.
Bowen Yang, yeah,
Yang.
right here in the middle there, yeah, from SNL. It's actually the guy next to him. I don't know his name. He plays this guy named Min, who's Taiwanese, and he is gay. And his grandmother owns this big company that he works for. And I guess she tells him that, hey, you're going to be deported. If you don't become a citizen, you're going to get deported because your visa's ending, and you're going to lose like all your money and all your connection to this business I've built, blah, blah, blah. So at the same time, this lesbian couple right next to them, those two women there, they are trying to have a baby. And they're going through IVF, in vitro fertilization procedures, and they've failed a couple times. They've already had a couple miscarriages. It didn't stick. And they're out of money. So the guy on the left, who's gay, in a relationship with Bowen Yang, he says, hey, if you marry me, he proposes to this woman in the middle here with the longer hair there, the short lady. He proposes to her and says, why don't we have like a sham marriage, basically, and I'll appease I'll get my green card, is what he's thinking, and I'll give you money for doing that for me, and you can pay for another round of in vitro fertilization, right? So they start to do it. They plan to get married and all this stuff, and they plan on their next in vitro, but what happens is that lesbian woman and then Bowen Yang, they get loaded one night and they go to a club.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Hey, come on. I haven't seen it yet. It doesn't have anything to do with the plot. Still, I like to go in fresh.
Oh, mother of God.
They're dancing around and like both kind of commiserating in what their issues are at that time. And they wake up together and they have had sex. And so he gets her pregnant accidentally through that one night stand. And now she's pregnant. And so at the end, cut to, they have twins and they all are co-parenting as a 4-way couple.
And we don't know this by fast forwarding it to the last 10 minutes.
This movie got so boring, I have to say. What was I gonna say?
Check out this box right there. See the box DVD right there, whatever it is, the cover.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing my glasses, but
there's a drag.
If you're watching this right now,
bottom.
squint your eyes and you can see that I'm looking at a Lucky Charms box of cereal.
Lucky Charms? Not the Banquet. Not that one. That's
the other one earlier, the red one.
Yeah.
The red cover right there.
Yeah, that one.
Without my glasses, it looks like a box of Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't look like Lucky Charms at all. But
the one over there, that one right there, the one he's pointing at.
The red one?
There was another one that was in the corner.
Oh.
There it is, that one.
Lucky Charms?
Without my glasses, it looks like a box of Lucky Charms.
Crazy. There's no red on a box of Lucky Charms.
You think there isn't, but there is. There is. There's red in every box of cereal. What was to attract you? The whole box is red.
Of Lucky Charms? Let me see. Oh, yeah, I guess I don't know Lucky Charms. I hated those squeaky marshmallows. That's like styrofoam.
There it is.
Styrofoam peanuts.
Look at it. There it is. That's what I see in that box.
There's just marshmallow versions of this. I can't eat those things. They squeak and hurt my teeth. I can't. No. I'll never eat those things.
You gotta eat them soggy, man.
It's like Cheerios thrown in with some styrofoam.
You gotta let it get mushy, like oatmeal, then it's good.
It never gets mushy. And I'm not eating mushy Cheerios. Gross. Oh, gross. So gross. But yeah, the movie was pretty slow. And Felipe said everybody's a low talker in this movie. And it was very quiet. So it made it hard to pay attention. And I started falling asleep at like 30 minutes in.
You pretty much could get what's going to happen. And then boom, the end of the movie, there's two kids.
Yeah, so we zipped through about 15 minutes of it, 20 minutes to get to the ending. So I don't know if those 15 minutes would have made it better, but
no,
it was not, just meh. And well, I was going to say, though, I forgot. The one we watched was new, 2025. It was a remake of a 1993 Ang Lee movie, though, with the same name, Wedding Banquet.
Oh, my God, this movie was hilarious. Once you got to once the girl made it from China.
No. Hold on. I'm talking about it was a remake. Wedding Banquet was a remake of the one in white right there, Wedding Banquet. That was an Ang Lee movie, same name and everything.
Well, probably more budget.
Yeah, bigger budget, and he plays a gay man again who's running a
Same actor?
No, different actor, a whole different cast. He plays a gay man who's running a rundown apartment building in New York City, and he's Taiwanese, and then his family is always pressuring him, when are you going to settle down? When are you going to find a nice girl? Blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to come to America to visit him. So he makes a deal with one of his tenants in the building to pretend to be his wife, or maybe they actually get married. And so his family wants to have the whole Chinese banquet thing, which is a huge part of the wedding, is the dinner itself. And so I don't know, they don't fall in love in the end, but they, a lot of craziness ensues. But that was a remake, the one we watched. And they act like it's a brand new movie. But anyway, after that movie, so we zipped through to hurry up and watch another one that we saw a trailer for, that we died at this trailer. And it's the Wedding Palace trailer, if you want to jump to that. Yeah, this one here.
Oh, that movie is hilarious, man.
Well, parts of it.
It's a bunch of Koreans, and they're trying to get this guy to marry somebody. It's like the same thing happens to him, like in the Wedding Singer. His wife cheats on him.
Yeah, his fiance cheats on him the morning of the wedding.
Bobby Lee
is really what made us want to watch it. And then, so anyway, this guy goes to Korea.
And his mom sets him up on different dates.
Yeah, in Korea.
Just like the kid and Harold and Maude.
I just need to get away.
I think going to Korea is going to be good for you.
But so this girl he meets there at a karaoke bar in Korea, and then they fall for each other, and then that's his last night in Korea. So they keep in touch online, and Bobby's his cousin, so they're having dinner and all this stuff, and he eventually proposes online.
Proposes online,
and then says, "Hey, come to America." So she comes to America, and then
she is little, man.
She's tiny. Which we died at.
Oh, her family died, man. She's so tiny.
She's so tiny, but she's not like a dwarf.
Also, this family's cursed, so they blame it on the curse.
Yeah, they blame it on this curse. This ancient curse. But there's certain funny moments. That's funny too. She goes to the Cholos and asks for a ride.
But it was funny.
The whole movie's shown in this trailer, by the way. That's all you need to watch.
But then the movie, when you find out that she's so tiny, you like pause it because it gets you like that movie. I see dead people all the time, and then you realize, okay, this bitch always sitting down.
Yeah, you have to realize he never saw her standing up the whole way before they.
Oh man, but I thought it was hilarious.
But it's funny because
it takes her a while to come back from China, though.
You know what though? It took a freaking hour to show the short girl. An hour is way too long to get to the funny. If you're gonna be funny, be funny. I tell you what happened, because I already was falling asleep to the previous movie.
Just do a short nap.
I started falling asleep in this movie in Wedding Palace. And what happened is I woke up and I was in a dream state. And then there's some fucking K-pop video happening that's part of the movie. And with nobody who's in the movie, I could not find this scene. I don't think you'll be able to find the scene.
I forgot about that.
But there's this weird K-pop video. You wake up in the middle of that, and I didn't know where I was. And I was like, what is going on? And I try to play it off, look over at Felipe, like, yeah.
Like I've been
good movie.
I've done karaoke.
Also confused.
And you finish the whole song, but if you're doing karaoke in a movie, there's no way a person should be singing two songs unless they wrote them.
It was so weird, this K-pop thing I woke up in the middle of. But anyway, so I didn't know what was going on. And, it's shot in forced perspective, though. That's how they get that to happen. It's like Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, So like she's shot from like far away.
Oh.
She's shot at a different distance. There's no AI, there's no CGI done on that. She's just shot from a different distance than him. And so she looks smaller, but she's a regular sized person. But it's funny though. And then at the end, they realize both the grandparents have a heart attack, and they're both in the same hospital bed and all this stuff. And then they realize, the grandparents come out of their funk, I guess, in the hospital, and they tell everybody, it's okay because that's the breaking of the curse is if he meets a short lady. And so that's the end, and everybody lives happily ever after.
I died though, man.
But we died at that. It just did not pay off, unfortunately.
Yeah, because she got up to use the restroom.
Yeah, she got up to use the restroom. She walks through the whole family, and they're just mouths on the floor. They couldn't believe how little she was. So basically, that woman could have been. They could have highlighted that woman with the little wig
Also,
much more. She would have been.
Margaret
funny.
Shaw played this weird person in the other movie.
Yeah, she's like giving a curse, right, or something like
Yeah.
that. Or I didn't understand her role, but she had like basically a cameo. They wasted. They must not have paid her enough money. So both these movies sucked, unfortunately. But
I like the second one. What was that one?
yeah, it's all right. The laughs it did had were very funny. It just didn't have enough of them.
You're right about that music video.
And it took an hour to get
it was
to
very
it.
dusty.
And the video, it was so strange. It was one of those like light blue, overexposed videos. He's playing guitar. She's singing. I couldn't even find it.
A lot of glossy scenes.
Very weird. And Bobby was funny, but
Also,
he wasn't used enough.
his fiance, the first one, didn't really when she came in at the second part of the movie.
Yeah,
I felt like there was so much of her scenes that were taken out that you didn't understand why she's all of a sudden this crazy.
right. Like why she wants so badly to get married.
Like
to
she should have just moved on. Like
because she wanted to move on. She's cheating on him, so she wants to move on, right? I didn't understand
this wild story that she was kidnapped and he didn't come to her rescue.
I think she just realized she wanted him back.
Yeah.
But they didn't put enough focus on that and why she wants him back so badly.
But also shows you like how Korean parents are very strict on picking a mom, just like American parents.
Picking a spouse, yeah.
Picking a spouse, yeah, a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they gotta pick your mom.
I wish you could pick your mom. I would have picked a different one. But anyway, so both those movies sucked. But if you're specifically looking for a good Asian wedding movie, watch Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, Crazy Rich Asians, man. That movie is crazy.
It's really.
Like they don't just go shopping, man. You know how sometimes
it's really funny, but
like you're with a bridesmaid. We're gonna go shopping at the mall. Nah, man. They fly to an island and they bring the mall to them, a bunch of free clothes.
Yeah, this is super rich people in Singapore. But it's funny. It's so good. And
that's number one, by the way. And when you look up movies,
it's just a perfect wedding, though. Honestly, I think it's maybe it is the most beautiful wedding I think I've ever watched on screen.
That and people argue with which a movie I never watched was the wedding of those two people in that movie Twilight.
Here's the wedding scene from. Do we have audio at all?
I'll do the audio.
Because this song is what Madison sang. Hey, we saw what's his face. Jimmy O. Yang was in the corner there. But this whole scene right here, and they stand up with the little firefly things. There's Nico.
And then the fish walking, the actual fish.
And then she steps into the water.
And there's actual fish swimming.
Yeah. And Madison recorded her own version of this song and walked down the aisle to it.
So I guess Madison must have seen this movie, huh?
I think so. That's Constance Wu, right? From Fresh Off the Boat?
Yes.
Yeah. And that guy looking like Kelly Ripa's husband, but Asian.
He did a movie about a Christmas movie.
Yeah. He's got that perfect ethnically ambiguous look. Constance Wu left Fresh Off the Boat to do movies, by the way. She's done one, and she was a bridesmaid. She wasn't the star. But look, her walking down that little creek or whatever, it's just so perfect. But by the way, go back to 117. Can you go back to 117 on that? Look who's here in the corner on the left. Who's that?
That's a little girl from Severance.
Severance, that's right. She's right there. I'd never seen her in anything before, and here she is. She shows up right there. She's a violin player in that band. I was shocked. I just saw that this morning when I was looking up this video. As I'd never seen her in anything. But she's still like the same age, isn't she? In Severance. And this was what, 2000, what was Severance? What was this? Crazy Rich Asians was what? 20, no. It was 2019 or 2020 or something. 18. Okay, 2018. So Severance, now we're 7 years later. She's roughly the same age. I don't know how that works, but I don't know. Asian math or something like that. I don't know. But as far as other awesome wedding movies, not just movies with weddings in them, because those kept getting mixed in with our searches. Here are my picks. I like Jumping the Broom from 2011.
Never seen it.
It wasn't that funny, but Mike Epps scenes are all really funny. And here's a funny one. After the chef here in this scene is caught in the kitchen seductively feeding and having an intimate moment with one of the sisters of the bride. Then he burns the food and wakes everybody up with the smoke alarm. We can show this audio.
Sort of like you.
Oh my God.
It's good, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Burn him. Burn him.
Mm-hmm. Burning, yeah.
No, it's burning. It's burning.
Oh! Oh!
Oh, no!
Ah, sauce.
Oh, my God!
Is everybody okay?
The jig is up right here.
I was making some sauce.
But right now,
My helper.
that
Listen, everything's under control. The alarm should go off in a minute. This in no way impedes my ability to do my job. You should know that. So, as you were.
this is the chef they hired for the catering.
Sabrina.
I mean, I
These
know
two
you
are on the
ain't got
outs
your
during this
private
wedding, by
parts
the
out
way.
around all this
The
good
Mike
food,
Epps.
do you? And second of all, do you have any kind of relationship with some Vaseline lotion or anything? Your knees look like you've been praying in some chicken flour.
Your knees look like you've been praying in some chicken flour. Hilarious. Anyway, that's funny. That's Mike Epps in that.
That guy, that chef, he played a FBI agent on a crime show.
He's been in several things, yeah. I don't know what show he was on, though. I can't think of that guy's name. But this movie's interesting because it really highlighted how a lot of modern black couples are adding that jumping the broom concept to their wedding. And jumping the broom, as you know, was a historical thing that happened during a lot of slave times. It came from Africa, and a lot of slaves weren't allowed to get married to their person of choice. A lot of times they were paired up or bred like an animal, basically, with other slaves. But they would do these private ceremonies with people they actually loved, and they would jump the broom as they said, "I do." And that was their way of solidifying the vows.
We have something for us too. It's called jumping the lawnmower. You go vroom, and then you jump over.
But jumping the broom meant like you're sweeping away like the past, and then you're moving on to the future and all that stuff, and you're starting new and everything. But one of my friends got married. She's black, and they did the jump the broom thing, and this was like 2001 actually. I think she got married on 9/11 in 2001 when 9/11 happened, and they actually went through with the wedding and everything. It's crazy. She was in Ohio though, so it didn't really mess up anything, I guess. The next one is Muriel's wedding. You saw that, right? Australian Toni Collette when she was chubby.
Yeah, I saw that movie.
And it launched her career pretty much. But it is a little heavy on the ABBA love and a little bit of a musical kind of. So I didn't care for that too much. Then The Hangover, 2009, directed by the great Todd Phillips. And it's the movie that really gave him all his real power in Hollywood, which has since been taken away by Joker 2. But breakout scenes from Ken Jeong, Dr. Ken. But nobody remembers the bride or the groom. Do you remember who the groom was or the bride in that movie?
The groom was the guy they lost at on top of the hotel.
Right, but have you seen him in anything else? Do you know the actor or anything, or?
He was in all 3 movies of The Hangover.
Well, of course. But he's not memorable, and he isn't on the front either. He's not on the poster or anything.
Nah, I don't remember
he's not important.
his fiance at all.
No. And even, like the second or third one, Jennifer Aniston was the one getting married to one of those guys. And I didn't even remember that.
If you like Hangover, I know Hangover is mostly about the guys having a bachelor party in Las Vegas. Tom Hanks, man, bachelor party right there, man. The OG.
They never show the wedding in that either, do they? I don't think so.
No,
it's all bachelor party.
On your way to the wedding, like the wedding. They have a wedding rehearsal, right? At the house.
They do the rehearsal dinner and everything. Yeah.
And when they offered them 40 G's to leave the daughter.
Yeah, they didn't like him. But wedding. So, but yeah, the movie isn't really about the wedding in The Hangover. It's about everything that happens on the way to the wedding and after they find him and all that stuff. I guess there is a wedding at the end, but it's not the climax of the movie. Wedding Crashers, 2005. And I love this movie so much. And it really established Bradley Cooper as an asshole in my mind. Because he has that asshole face. And I never really saw him as anything different after this movie.
But this was before Hangover, though.
It's before Hangover, yeah. I'm not saying it's after. I'm just saying I'm ranking mine to the top one, which will come in a second. But Wedding Crashers. I mean, his name is Sack Lodge in the movie. That's a jerk name, right? But this movie is made 100% better by this short scene with Will Ferrell here. So he's going to Will Ferrell's house. Will Ferrell's like a legend wedding crasher. Like these guys have been
doing funerals now.
Yeah, these guys have been wasting their time doing weddings.
Is Chaz here? His house is already depressing.
This movie is a prequel to Step Brothers.
Was it before Step Brothers? I think it was, huh? This is the legend they've been hearing about.
Chaz? What the fuck do you want? I'm John Beckwith. I'm friends with Jeremy Gray. God damn it. Why didn't you say so? Come here, brother. Give me a hug. Bring it in for the real thing. Have a seat. Yeah. Damn you. I almost numbchucked you. You don't even realize. Ouch.
Almost numbchucked you.
Yeah. Is this your place? No, I live with my mom. Oh. Yeah. You hungry? Hey, Ma! Can we get some meatloaf? Chaz, I think I'm okay. I had a bite right before I came over. Thank you. You sure? How's my protege? Jeremy. Yeah. Boy, he... J-Bone. J-Bone is, believe it or not, he's getting married. What? What an idiot. Oh, what a loser. Good. More for me and you.
You could stop it right here. That's fine. That's funny. I love that scene. And then Wedding Singer, 1998. Still one of my favorites. I can watch no matter what, even though I'm 50-50 on Adam Sandler films. And probably the beginning of his normal acting, which I prefer over his flibbity-flu stuff that he does. You like Wedding Singer?
It's all right.
You don't like it that much?
I like it, but if it's playing, I'm not gonna watch it on television.
You're
I'm gonna
not?
change the channel to something else.
Oh, you're crazy. That's a always watch movie. What do you like?
What?
What do you like? Wedding wise?
Oh, wedding movies. I like Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
The other ones we talked about.
It's cheating.
But just Wedding Singer is not on my top.
You don't like that? That's probably my second favorite.
I mean, it's a wedding.
I love that movie.
It's a wedding movie, but it's not about a wedding.
It's a wedding singer, so it's about a lot of weddings.
Because it's kind of like a wedding crasher himself, you know. You could put him up there with J-Lo as somebody going to end up with the bride or the groom.
I guess. Yeah, because he's a wedding
He's like a
singer.
loser, bro. No
He
way,
is a loser.
he'll end up being with her, man.
But he might because he's a funny guy, and she's with an asshole.
He has no money, man.
Doesn't matter. She's with an asshole, and he's funny and charming, and they fall in love. That's how love works.
No, I don't know.
It's not about the dude that she's with. What's his name? Gulia, right? Because her name is Julia, and when she gets married, her name's going to be Julia Gulia. Oh, forget that guy.
It ain't
he's
the guy
a good
I'm thinking
asshole.
about. Because I always thought it was a guy from...
Drew Barrymore's fiance and wedding singer. Glenn Gulia. And his name is Matthew Glave, the actor.
He's good.
It says... Here, the AI version says, the film portrays Glenn as a less than reliable fiance, which is a key plot point that leads to Julia reconsidering her wedding plans. She doesn't want to marry that asshole. He's dressed like Miami Vice. Look at that. Who wants to marry that guy? A little bit of stubble, pink shirt, white jacket.
That's funny because Miami Vice was hot when they were doing this, huh?
I don't think so. No, it was 95, 98.
No, the movie set in what year?
I think it's just... I don't think it's
set
in
89, 80 something.
No, is it?
Yeah, because the guy wearing a Michael Jackson
When
jacket.
is Wedding Singer? Oh, is it 1985? Is that really?
So everything he's wearing
What
is
year
on
is
point.
Wedding Singer set in? It's set in 1985. I don't remember that being.
Yeah, it was set in 85 because the guy, when they get into that fight at the bar, he's wearing a Michael Jackson jacket.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and then
I remember the Culture Club "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me" song.
His car is on point. Like it's a 90s, it's an 80s car.
Why did they focus on it? It's not like they were flashing back or anything. It was just set in a previous time.
And then when she was supposed to marry her concert, her shirt that she's wearing is from the year they're supposed to get married, was the 82, 83.
Really? I don't
She's
remember
wearing
that.
a Dio concert t-shirt.
Why they never go back to the present though? Whatever the present is.
No, they're in the present is 1985 when he was supposed to get married to the fiance was 82, 83. Then he went on a dine.
No, I'm saying there's no present of 98 when the movie was made.
No, the movie was made in 98. The movie was made in 98, but it's based of 1985. I'm saying.
Right, I'm saying why is it based on 1985? I'm saying they never flash back or
because
anything.
it's an 80s movie.
But why?
Because they wanted to make it like an 80s movie. That's why.
It's not an 80s movie though. I don't feel like that's clear enough because I never understood that watching it 100 times.
Maybe you're just in love with Adam Sandler. You're not focused on anything else.
Never. Why would I be in love with Adam Sandler?
Everybody,
Gross.
you're the first person I ever met that doesn't know that movie is based in the 80s.
I've watched that movie 100 times. I never noticed that it was based in the 80s.
Yeah, and everything about that.
But even if it is, how come they never come out of the 80s to the present?
Because the movie never reaches in the 90s. It's just based in 1985.
Why though? That's my question.
It's,
why make a period piece? Why make a movie about the 80s when it's 13 years later when you're making it, and you don't reference that you're making it as a past movie? You know what I mean? As a period piece movie. Like, what's the point of making it a 13-year-old movie?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because now they order a karaoke machine. Yeah, or DJ.
Anyway, I didn't get that. That's the first I've ever heard that it's set in the 80s.
You must have been high watching that movie.
No, I've seen it 100 times. Anyway, my top wedding movie of all time is what? Bridesmaids. You like Bridesmaids?
I like Bridesmaid, but I don't like. I'm not a big fan of wedding movies.
I don't like a lot of wedding movies. You know, you act like I chose this topic or something.
I like.
I didn't choose this.
I like. This is a good movie, but there's
This is better than all of them. Honestly, it's the best and most accurate movie because this is from a woman's point of view, and it's accurate because it talks about female relationships in this movie, and there's a lot of rivalry and jealousy and competition among new friends and old friends.
So you're saying a man didn't write this?
No.
Okay.
Kristen Wiig wrote this. Well, actually, no. I think Paul Feig had a lot to do with it. He directed it.
Mm-hmm.
He directed a lot of the Office episodes, too. And Paul Feig has one of the best books ever written called Kick Me. Because he was a nerd.
What's your favorite scene in the movie?
In this, well, I have a few clips to show here.
Oh, my favorite scene in the movie is the one where when everybody's taking turns saying something nice about each other, and then Kristen Wiig starts singing that song about when they're comparing each other, how much when they.
Oh yeah, well I show a scene.
The toast.
Okay. Well, I have a video of the toast in a second.
Yeah.
But I include her song in there because it was too long a clip. But let's show the first clip here. Which is this?
Oh my God, Helen. Honey, what is it? Helen's taking me to Paris.
So Rose Byrne and Kristen Wiig. Kristen Wiig's her old friend. Rose Byrne's her new friend who's rich.
When did he take her to Paris?
It's just a little pre-wedding vacation. And while
Before
we're
the
there,
wedding.
we're going
Okay,
to
everybody just her.
have a fitting.
She's just taking her, but everybody else pays their way. She can't pay her way.
Awesome.
She's broke.
Which
is why she suggests they stay home.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Annie?
No, Mom. Motherfucking Paris?
Annie, what are you doing?
I told you about Paris, Helen. I told you about this whole idea.
Annie, calm
No,
down.
Lillian, what are you gonna go? You're gonna go to Paris with Helen now? What are you guys gonna ride around on bikes with berets and fucking baguettes in the basket of the front of your bikes? Oh, how romantic. What woman gives another woman a trip to Paris? Am I right? Lesbian. We're all thinking it, aren't we?
I'm not.
Okay? Yes, we're all thinking it, right?
Annie.
Lillian, this is not the you that I know. The you that I know would have walked in here and rolled your eyes and thought this was completely over the top, ridiculous, and stupid. Look at this shower! Look at that fucking cookie! Did you really think that this group of women was gonna finish that cookie? Really? Oh, you know what? That reminds me, actually. I never got a chance to try that fucking cookie!
Love Kristen Wiig. There's another one here. Some more of the rivalry. Well, actually, this is different. She's talking shit to that girl in her job.
I'm looking for a birthday gift for my best friend.
Oh.
I want to get her a necklace that says best friends forever.
You sure you want it to say forever?
Yeah, why?
Forever?
Forever?
I don't think you guys will be best friends forever. No offense, but, you know, the friends you have when you're younger, sometimes you grow apart. You know, when you get older, and maybe she'll find a new best friend. And maybe she'll be more successful than you are, and prettier, and richer, and skinnier. And they end up doing everything together.
You're weird.
I'm not weird. Okay.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. And you started it.
No, you started it. Did you forget to take your Xanax this morning?
God, I feel bad for your parents.
I feel bad for your face.
Okay. Call me when your boobs come in.
You call me when yours come in.
When you have 4 boyfriends?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Have fun having a baby at your prom.
You look like an old mop.
You know what? You're not as popular as you think you are.
I'm very popular.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
But you're an old, single loser who's never gonna have any friends.
You're a little cunt.
And then, of course, the fabulous Melissa McCarthy is in this. But I didn't pick one of her clips, but I did pick this unforgettable scene with Maya Rudolph right here.
Annie, everybody's really sick from that restaurant.
But it wasn't the restaurant.
No.
Lillian,
Oh, no.
where are you going?
I need a bathroom.
Because Kristen Wiig was so broke, she took them to this cheap Mexican restaurant, and they all got sick. She's trying on a dress, Maya Rudolph.
What's happening? What's happening? It happened. It happened.
Oh no! Don't you dare ruin that dress! Well, you're really doing it, aren't you? You're shitting in the street.
my God.
We'll just take 5 of the Fritz Bernays. Thank you, Whitney. They really do look better. Thank you.
And then this is my absolute favorite scene. And
how many scenes are we gonna watch? We're gonna watch the whole fucking movie.
This is the last scene, and we're not gonna watch the whole scene right here.
All right.
Welcome to the clip show, people.
Hi, I'm Annie Walker.
Yay, Annie!
Oh, that's my favorite scene too.
I'm not gonna
Play the whole thing.
Look, that's what's his face from The Office, David Wallace.
I'm so
Is
happy
it
to
David
be
Wallace's
part of
house?
this celebration, and you two deserve each other.
And that's
as
Jan.
A lifetime of happiness.
Tim Heidecker there on the right.
Cheers. Love you guys.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thank you, Annie. That was so sweet. Thank you. Lil, remember that trip we took to Miami with the boys? And they were working the entire weekend, and we just sat and drank wine and ate peanut
This
brittle,
scene was
and I
mostly
shared
improvised,
things with
almost
you
all of
that
it.
I've never shared with anyone, and you made me realize how I can trust people again. So let me just say, Lillian, you're my best friend. And I'm so proud of you. And Doug Lee, I'm sorry, inside joke. You better not keep my Lil on a leash because I still need my drunken Saturday nights at Rockin' Sushi, okay? Everybody, raise your glasses to the couple of the decade, Doug and Lillian. Woo! You know what? Have a great night. Dessert wine is out. Dessert wine, yummy.
I just wanted to say really quick that you're so special to me because, well, one of the reasons is because I've known you my whole entire life, and you've really helped shape who I am. I just want to thank you for carefully selecting me as your maid of honor. I know you had some other choices, but you're like my sister, and I love you. Well, that concludes the speeches for the night.
Thank you. One last thing. It's rare to meet someone as an adult who you really connect with, and that's you, Lil. I went to Thailand recently with my husband, Perry, and there's a beautiful saying that I learned there. Kun ben song nong kong chan, song chan jakat madai, my ben chenna. It means you are a part of me, a part that I could never
We'll
live
cut it
without,
after Kirsten's
and I hope
comeback
and I
here.
pray that I never have to. Kap kun ka.
Kap kun ka.
And that's it for tonight. Thank you for coming.
Really quick.
Thank you all for coming.
I just wanted to say really
Dessert
quick.
wine is out. Consuelo?
Really quick, speaking of Consuelo, Lillian and I took Spanish together in school. And so I would just like to say to you and to everyone here, gracias para vivir en la casa, en las escuelas, en el azul marcada. Tienes con vivir en las forchuas. And gracias.
Thank you.
Anyway, we could cut it. That's just so funny. I love it. They go back and forth until she sings that that's what friends are for at the end. It's like a 5-minute scene, but my favorite. Anyway, that's it for me for weddings.
Yeah, me too.
You have anything to say at the end? Here.
I do.
Okay. Bye-bye. Binge later, I guess. We'll see you later.
I wonder how long that scene must have been improvised. Like, cause they did like 7 takes, and then what other stuff they might have said.
Are we still here? I don't know. I don't know how many times they went back and forth.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
No, yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for binging on this show.
Okay, we need to come up with an ending.